morning, everyone. This is Indu Punj, founder Stories Matter, and it is my first live video. So Adubi and I met over LinkedIn, and then we started conducting a session for our Nigerian friends for the Tiny Tots and their parents. She liked the idea so much, so she requested if we can go live for the parents. I agreed as I found it a very, very interesting way of reaching out to people, and that's my mission, to reach out to maximum people, to join hands with everybody if possible, especially to help teachers and parents to make their lessons more interesting. Let's begin with the story. So the story is no biggie. For this, first of all, we need to choose a book which is very beautiful, with lots of illustrations, with less words, and the book has to be of your child's choice. If she likes to talk about aeroplanes, pick up a book with aeroplanes. If she likes to talk about cooking, then pick up a recipe, bake a cookie with her. If she likes to talk about animals, then pick a book which is full of animals and illustrations. If she has a dog, then you can talk about a picture book which has dogs in it. So that is just to ensure when the child picks up a book of their choice, they just love reading it because it is not something that you have forced. Anything which is a forced reading, anything which becomes a compulsion and it is followed by a kind of comprehension passage or something to do with, when they know that you are doing it for a purpose, they lose interest in it. So when we say that there is a story and we are going to have an interactive session on story, they love doing it. So that's how we just change the way we say things, and product will always remain same, which is learning. At the end of the day, we all want children to learn, pick up a new language. It can be any language, it can be your mother tongue, need not be only English, it can be any language. So first rule, book of their choice, with beautiful illustrations where child can really relate to it. Then less words, bigger font, and then we can create a very beautiful environment, like taking the child in your lap. We can say, okay, that was the tagline, no app can replace your lap. Hold your baby in your arms and snuggle them and say, okay, I have a very beautiful, interesting book to read today. Let's read. So this story is about Kiki. Kiki is a small little girl just like you, and she has a beautiful, cuddly dog. Dog's name is Posy, and you have to listen very carefully as I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Lots of things make me feel happy, like playing fetch with my dog Posy. Her soft fuzzy face makes me smile. I also love to paint, practice handstands, and eat ice cream. Sometimes I dream about eating ice cream all day. Boy, that would be fun. Do you also like eating ice creams? Can you all see? So she loves to paint. She is playing in front of her house. She likes to eat, and this is her dog, Posy. Lots of things make me feel frustrated. It's a big word. Frustrated is a big word. I learned from mommy and daddy. In her word, how many people are there? She has her mommy, her daddy, her dog, and her father is calling her. Come inside, and is calling, come in, Kiki. It's when you get upset because something didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Why do we get upset most of the time, and why do we feel frustrated? Because things do not happen the way we want them to. I get frustrated in the morning when I squeeze toothpaste. Do you brush teeth in the morning? If you are listening, please say yes. Are you there? Who all are there? Please say yes. Who all are listening? Press yes. Are you there? Indu is there, Parul is there, Atul. I can see only read these names. If If you are there, please write in the comment box so that I can continue reading my story. So I'll still continue. I get frustrated in the morning when I squeeze toothpaste on my toothbrush. When I'm about to brush my teeth, the toothpaste falls off and goes on the floor. And this is how I feel. So disappointed, so frustrated. Sometimes I cry and yell, "Mommy!" She runs in and says, "No biggie, Kiki." What does she say? No biggie. So this is her mother's way of teaching her, no big deal. Let's wipe it up and try again. So I keep trying and trying. The best thing is she keeps trying and trying. School mornings are nutty. These days you don't have any school mornings. You are all in the lockdown. So you don't have to get up early morning. But this story is about the days when you'll start going back to school, and you've been going earlier also. So many times, so many things to do before the bus arrives. Getting dressed for school all by myself makes me feel proud, but sometimes I can't get the zipper to slide up my jacket. I get so frustrated. I yank it off, throw it on the floor, and huff and puff. She can't pull the zipper up, and she again gets frustrated. My daddy comes in my room and says, "No biggie." Now this is daddy's turn to come in and say, "No biggie. What do you think? Want to try it again?" I do, and I finally get the zipper to go up, and that makes me feel better. Fluff, and the dog also joins in because dogs are always, they know how to, pamper you. It's fun to help my breakfast sometimes. The cream cheese clumps up on my bagel because I'm still practicing how to spread it. I clench my fists and make a noise. My mommy and daddy all a grunt. They look at me and say, "No biggie. Want to try again?" I practice some more, make a happy face in the cream cheese. That makes me giggle. Thank you, friends. Thanks for joining. Please type in yes if you are there so that I know how many people have joined in. At the school, all over building big pictures with lots of rainbow tiles. Alex tries to make a diamond shape, but the pieces won't stay together. They are trying in the school. You also have circle times. So they are all trying to fix pieces of a puzzle, but Alex is not able to do it. He makes a frustrated face, breaks them apart. Look at Alex. Look at his face. He's feeling so frustrated. And now let's say what Kiki has to say. Kiki says, I look at Alex. Now Kiki is already very mature, acting. I look at the pie and I think, thank you, thanks, thanks, thanks. No biggie, I say, maybe we would make something together. We work as a team. We work as a team and build a giant diamond and a star. Together, what they do? They make a big diamond and a star. Alex is so proud and shouts, "Look what we made!" That makes us both feel really happy when you do things together and you are able to do it. It's a proud feeling. It's such a sense of achievement because doing things is always fun with friends. And what's your friend's name? Tell me. Write in the comment box. You can always write to encourage me so that I carry on going with my story. Write your best friend's name. During story time, my teacher says it's my turn to pick a book. I pull out my favorite and get so excited that I rip a page by accident. All I hear are a bunch of loud from my friends. Look at their faces. They feel, oh, I've lost it all. But then I have already grown up. I'm a mature person. I know how to handle things. I grab the tape. There, no biggie. All fixed. I blurt out. My teacher smiles and says, thank you. That's right, Kiki. What a great lesson. No biggie. All of my friends start clapping, and I feel so special because everybody's clapped for me, and teacher also said thank you to me. After school, chasing Posy always makes me laugh. It's my fun time. I love watching her big floppy ears bounce up and down. When we go inside, she gets mud all over the place. And just look at Mama's face. What is she going to say? She's going to scream now. This is what you also do. When you spoil the whole floor, what do? Let's see how she does it. My mommy makes a mad face and says, oh no, Posy is getting dirt everywhere. I grab a towel and rub Posy's paws. Super clean. No big, no biggie, mommy. I say. She stops and looks at me. You're so right, Kiki. No biggie. Mommy's so happy. My daughter has grown up. Taking a bath before bed with lots of orange smelling bubbles is one of my favorite things. When I check the water, I yell, oh no! Daddy and mommy run in. They both start shouting, oh no! Oh no! Look at them. Look at mommy and daddy. And look at her. She's so like one cool cucumber. I grab my daddy's giant rope and throw it down there. No biggie. I say, my mommy and daddy look at each other with the biggest smiles and most proud faces. They say, thank you for teaching us there is no biggie. Then they tickle me all over and we just laugh and laugh. And this book ends and the story ends and it says, there's no such problem that we can't face. Doing it with friends, doing it alone, doing it with parents, we can always try again and there is no biggie. So frustrated word also looks small. It becomes a small word when we learn to practice things and we do it with fun. So this was story time, and this is how when we choose a book of their choice and we read it with fun, we can include a lot of activities. We can use puppets, we can use a lot of eye expressions, facial expressions, sounds, music, however, whichever way you want to make it more interesting and engrossing for your students, you can do it. Once again, I'll introduce myself. I am Indu Punj, founder, Stories Matter. So this is my passion, to reach out to each and every child and to teach through stories, to empower our teachers so that they make their lessons fun-filled and they are no more where the students, they run away from reading, they don't want to read book. So here, by reading through stories, we kind of develop a connection. When you talk about a story, when you say that Kiki is brushing her teeth, build a connection. Build a connection with your routine life. When you say, okay, what kind of toothpaste do you use? What is your color of the toothpaste, smell of the toothpaste? How does it feel when it falls down? What is the texture? So this is bringing children to think, being mindful of what they do. So they will next time observe the color, texture. They might even try to taste it. So when they taste, smell, feel the texture, they will be careful about what they're using. Then coming back to her dog, you can, if they have a dog at home, you can ask, what's the name of your dog? What breed is it? How does it feel? What is the color of its fur? Is it a male dog or a female dog. So how old is it? This is how you involve the child within your story, and that's how they start thinking. When you talk about getting up in the morning and dressing up all by herself, oh, Kiki used to dress up all by herself. She would spread cheese on her bread herself. So this is a child will connect. Okay, even I'm supposed to do. You are not telling them to do it. You are just telling a story. So this is a way to enhance not only reading but other skills. They become self-reliant, they become confident, they become uh, good communicators. Language enhancement is happening as they start reading all by themselves. So read it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times whenever. It is first, we call it walking through the book. The exercise that I had mentioned, I read the story. So when I say walk through the book, this is like, okay, introducing the children to the story. Feel the texture of the book. It's so good. You can feel it. Let them feel the feel of a book. Then, talking about the characters, so this story is about Kiki and her dog. And let's see who all are there in the story. So now when I say walking through the book, you are not reading per se. This is for the tiny tots, the little ones who still do not know how to read, but they love to see the cute little pictures. This is to generate that curiosity to learn more. This is how we build that, connection with the book. This is for fun and meaning. We are not saying, oh, today we are going to learn this, and after that you will do a comprehension passage followed by word meanings, making sentences, this, blah, blah, blah. And the teachers go on, and child says, shut up, I'm not. But here, when we say, oh, look at this, look at the fur, look at the kind of ice cream. What is your favorite brand? What is your favorite flavor? Do you like chocolate one? Do you like mango? Which is mine is mango. Which is yours? So this is how. Where is it stored? Where is it happening? It's raining. When you can talk about anything. Coming to the exercises that we talk about through stories. So walking through is just walking and discussing each and every page, all minutest of the details you will refer to. You will not just leave it like this. Let the child, you get them to observe things. That's how they learn. If you take their attention towards that, then only they will learn to pay attention. Let's say there is the scene and there is a house, there is a garden. Now everything is getting drenched, and look at the expressions. Teach them to understand different expressions, emotions. Do they connect with this? So you can only have one chapter only or one talk only about expressions. When do you feel this way? Morning, evening, they can write about it. When do you feel this way? And what is this expression called? Disgusted. And this, do you shout and scream? Is it good to shout? Should we scream at our parents or our teachers or our friends when we can't do things in a right way? No, there's no big deal. We can always, this is how we have to teach children to control and understand, empathize with emotions and be compassionate about the smileys, about different expressions. So one full day I can spend only talking about emotions, dealing with emotions. How do you feel during the day? So this was walking through the book, first thing. Then we'll talk about listening skills. How are listening skills important? If I'm just talking and there's no one listening to me, there's no point having this activity, so it goes waste. So it's very important to build a bond. We need to have people who are attentive, active listeners. And what is active listening? Active listening is when I am not just listening to hearing just the words, but I also try to understand what you're saying. I'm trying to learn. I'm not interrupting you. I'm paying full attention to understand, and I'm letting you complete a complete sentence. I'm compassionate listener. I kind of, you know, connect with you when you are listening. And how do we do such things with small children? How do we make them to sit and listen to us? We have to first model that behavior to them. Children are like sponges. they are not just absorbing what you speak, they are absorbing what you are with your body language. They are there with you throughout the day. So whatever you are not even talking to them, your body language, the way you talk, the way you express, they are absorbing everything. So language development is not just what we speak, it is through your expressions, through the tone of the voice modulation, everything they pick up. So with small children, we especially have to model the behavior that when we talk to them, we listen very carefully with a smile. Okay, let's tell me what is it about. And there is a full attention, 100% attention. As they say, children have very small attention span. They just, most of us, according to the study, they say that only 50% of what we have heard we listen, and 25% of it we remember. So if this is with adults, and this is how we take orders from our seniors, and this is how we listen to our spouses and our children, imagine if we just retain 25% of it, how much are we learning? So with students, we have to ensure in our classroom, at home, with parents, we right from the beginning, if at grassroots level we start these values are inculcated and reinforced every day, we have to model that behavior. When your child comes to you, you have to show a lot of interest that, okay, I'm paying 100% attention to what you are saying, nod your head, smile, and also you can repeat what they say. Oh, I see. So this is what you are upset about. Then third thing is, when you talk to your children, don't talk to them in a childlike language. Talk to them as if they are adults, they are at the same level. Treat them equally, respectfully, and that is how they feel validated. They feel that they are important. That helps them to build their confidence, their self-esteem. It goes a long way. Children, they understand more with your body language than what you are saying, because they're observing. When we, like as I said, we can start and read the story, making them snuggle in our laps and read it. There is a bond, there is a kind of connection which is going to go a long way. Whenever as a adult they will think about storytelling or story reading, they will remember the entire scene along with the environment that you created, with dim lights, with snuggle, with the hug. So as they say, hugs say much more than our words. They understand that they are loved, they are wanted, and human minds, they are wired to be, we always want, each one of us wants to be loved, to be wanted in life. So talking about again about listening skills, so we say the body language first, your attention and your intention. I have complete intention to listen to you. I am compassionate about what you are saying, and I understand. I do not interrupt. I do not question in between. I let you complete what you are saying. And of course, if I have a question, I will wait for you to finish. Pause, absorb the information, let that information process in your mind, and you shouldn't get distracted. Your eyes, ears, everything complete 100% attention should be on the person, and there should be no rebuttal in the mind. Okay, she's saying this and I have to go for a meeting, and there is some urgent call, and so complete, finish it. Child will understand that you are in a hurry, and you are in no mood to listen. You can always postpone for a minute. It's all right, and listen. Okay, tell me. Create atmosphere, make them sit, look into their eyes, and make eye contact, nod your head. As I said, these are behaviors which you model. Now, through the story thing, how do we enhance active listening? We can have question answer round, as I was asking, who's the person, who's the story about, what was the dog's name, where what did she eat in the morning, why did she feel frustrated for the first time, depending upon the age group. Your level of the question will definitely vary according to the child's age. You can't be asking this to a small little child. Of course, if the children are let's say it's class 3 level or 4 level, or if they understand what you're speaking, you can always keep increasing the level of your question. Then you can have a show and tell competition. Even in the home, you can give a toy and you can tell your children, okay, so here's the toy, here is this dog, talk about it, and the way she did it in the story. So this is, you can have a dialogue talking about the story, and mommy, daddy, everything. You can have a role play, or you can have who said to whom, one activity, second dialogue speaking, kind of role play. Then we can also uh, I've just kind of passed out. So, friends, let's just move on. I'll get back to the story thing again. When we talk about attentive listening, it's not just with children, it is also between your relationships. When husband and wife, they don't pay attention and they are not listening properly between boss and subordinate, between colleagues, when the attentive listening does not happen, there are a lot of problems. So, by enhancing our listening skills, we'll create less errors, we can be more effective in our work, we will create much more happiness, we will create much better bonds with everybody around us. uh, I can be hi to all of you, and nobody is typing, so I'm not sure who all are there. Please type your yes, or I want to read out the names, but I can't see. Moving on, one more thing that I want to convey today is scaffolding. When teachers, they kind of handhold the child initially to build interest, we have to do scaffolding, which in psychology we say initially you model the behavior. You do exactly, keep repeating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, even if with small children and depending upon the age group. For senior classes, if the concept is tough, so we repeat it initially with our actions, with our language. So, and eventually the child, when learns, you leave it to them and we watch it from a distance and see if they are able to do. So this kind of learning goes a long way, and children are able to apply that knowledge themselves. It is not a forced learning. So keeping scaffolding in mind, keeping storytelling in mind, keeping interesting ways of reading in mind, we can carry on. And I think I'm already done with the time. We are coming to end of it. If anybody has any question, please type in. And thanks a lot for joining in. I'm still not sure whether friends from Nigeria have joined in or not. This was a completely first live session. So if there were I'm not so familiar with the kind of messaging and everything around here. I hope you've liked it. You can always send me messages if you want to have more such sessions. Please press like and subscribe my page, and this stories matter. I want to go to every child, every parent, every teacher. I'm always there. You can contact me through messages. Keep sending your messages. Uh, Thank you very much for joining in. That's all. Signing off. Indu Bunch. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your likes. Thank you. Uh, I had just shared one message with everybody, and that's how I could have all of you here. And those who are listening to me, I sincerely hope you liked it, and you can share your comments even in the message box if you are not sharing here. Uh, Thank you. Thanks for joining.